Ladies, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Please be advised that this movie has no nudity.
I'm out.
Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
Yeah. I just have to wee-wee.
And we're back. Just like the Five Musketeers.
What the hell am I looking at?
A country where culture means pornography and slasher films.
If you had these boobs, you'd be obsessed with them too.
Very exciting, big event. Everybody's excited, huh?
We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends.
We're Cinemadness Podcast.
So, Adam, what's the favorite heavy metal groups when we're talking heavy metal?
When you're talking heavy metal, you're talking like Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
You're talking Black Sabbath.
Right.
Oh, you got your Gordon Lightfoot.
Okay.
What?
Right.
And you got your John Denver.
Gordon Lightfoot is not metal.
Hey, mate. I hate to break
You got
this.
your Jim Croce.
That's soft rock, mate.
It's heavy.
No. Just because you cry because
it's heavy stuff.
Just because you cry because your girl broke up with you, mate, doesn't mean that it's heavy.
Have you listened to Rocky Mountain High? You will be crying within 5 seconds, and that is some heavy stuff, my dude.
Is this James Taylor all over again?
I've seen fire and I've seen rain. How much metal does that get?
Oh,
are you guys supposed to be the Beatles?
No, that's insulting, all right?
Okay.
Not every English accent sounds like the Beatles.
Not every English accent.
Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this.
Kind of sound like Oasis.
Well, speaking of heavy metal, welcome!
I said maybe!
Anyway.
Let's talk about an orb. And let's talk about Jupiter and pain with Cronox and
Cronuts. I could go for a cronut right now. Anyone for cronuts?
You know what? It sounds pretty heavy.
Oh my God. All right, welcome to
How's the iron?
Cinemadness, the podcast. My name is Adam, and I am here with Allison.
Kill me, please.
And Roman.
Call me Den.
Ha! Dead. Big. All right, so we are here for my... it's my turn to do the series, and the series are Pre-MCU comic book adaptations.
Would you say that Den had a beautiful buttocks?
It's wonderful. It's just a wonderful buttocks. And we'll talk about that when we get to Den.
I have the same dream, man. Anyways, please continue.
We are talking the 1981 animated Canadian film Heavy Metal. Based off of the heavy metal magazine from the 70s and 80s.
So what's our overall theme for these?
I already said it was.
Oh, I apologize.
Pre-MCU comic book adaptations.
Okay, then I am sorry.
Yes.
So can you explain what that means? Okay, because it's not necessarily a comic book.
They are comics. Yes. Heavy Metal Magazine is just it's an anthology of comics.
Okay.
Kind of like how the movie is an anthology of stories.
And then you're gonna explain the other movies because I'm still lost on all of these and except for the one I chose. But so what is the difference between a comic book and let's say a graphic novel?
Okay, well, a graphic novel usually is never produced into issues.
Mm-hmm. It's just a book.
It's just like From Hell was just From Hell. But The Watchmen, which is considered one of the greatest graphic novels, was released in issue form. But the what they call trade paperback made more of an impact because you could read it all at once. So it just got kind of just melded into a graphic novel.
So the movies that you gave us, the list.
Yes.
Some of them were graphic novels, some of them were magazines, some of them were comic books.
Yeah, they're all comic book style.
Adjacent
comic book style.
They're all written by comic authors. They're all comic books. Like From Hell is a DC comic.
But we're not talking about that because we haven't gotten to that.
Right.
So you just kind of...
Oh, well.
Okay.
People are going to see the thumbnails later on. So.
Okay.
But yes, That one is a DC comic. Heavy Metal is its own thing. The other one is Marvel. Mm-hmm. So there we go.
So, okay, go ahead.
No, what else? What else?
I guess I just get confused because, okay, so you already kind of spoiled the other movie that Roman picked that we're going to do in the next episode. He chose From Hell. I guess, so in other words, I'm going to the comic book shop and I'm getting a comic book and it looks like a comic strip that's written out based on that movie, like like a drawing of Jack the Ripper and people, or is it more of a book?
So it's a thick. So think of a heavy book like
Yes.
books that you see around us in this.
Because we are in a library.
Yes, we are in a library.
It's like
Uh-oh.
it's like this Dune book.
Okay.
Right in front of me. That is a graphic novel.
Okay. But Heavy Metal is a magazine.
It is. It's a magazine that's been run from 74.
Oh, so it does look like a comic
Yes.
strip.
Yeah.
There's pictures, which is why I hate comic books. I don't know if nobody knows this, but probably Adam. But this is why I can't read comic books. Is because my eye immediately goes to that, and it just ruined that whole page. So I can never read a comic book because I skip ahead.
This is a very visual podcast we're having tonight.
Okay.
Well, I'm describing it.
know.
Everybody knows what a comic book and a graphic novel looks like. If the book is open, I immediately go to whatever my eye catches and I just read the bubble and I just ruined what happened. I understand that it probably sounds really stupid, but that's why I can never get into comic books because my eye skips ahead. It doesn't in books, it doesn't in words, but it does with pictures. Okay, so the list of books that you chose are not your quintessential comics that people grew up on. They were like those.
Well, one of them is.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
Yours.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that one yet. Because, I know that. That's obvious. But these other two are ones that were just kind of like off the beaten path comic. Not the Spider-Mans, not the Supermans. They're just like...
I mean, Heavy Metal's a pretty well-known...
Yeah. No, I get that. But as an 8-year-old boy going to the comic...
Oh, you can't get
Oh,
those.
no.
They're an 18+.
That's what I'm trying to
Okay.
get. That's
Yeah.
the difference between all these. So if you're just saying they're
Well, it's
pre-MCU, it can be, you know what I mean? Like there's all these different categories.
I'm just saying before comic book movies became the huge thing,
Right.
pre-Iron Man, there were these movies that were always out and people enjoyed them for what they were. And that's kind of what I wanted to go through. Because now everybody has this preconception of a comic book movie being like the highest of prestige, the highest of quality, the highest of everything. And before we had Iron Man, we had movies like Spawn, which was not a good movie, but we loved it because we had a Spawn movie.
Yes.
We had Steel with fucking Shaq.
He does that in the movie?
It's a really bad movie, but it's someone from the Superman world that's not Superman.
Right.
It was cool.
Dolph Lundgren's
Right.
Predator or
Punisher. Yeah.
Punisher, where he
Dolph
doesn't
Lundgren's
have
Punisher.
the skull
Right.
on his chest. It was actually a pretty decent movie.
I know. I have the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I remember renting it from Blockbuster, going, "This is a Punisher movie."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you had other attempts. You know, you had Phantom, you had
Yeah.
the Shadow, but the Shadow started from a
What was a radio play, but it was also a comic strip.
yeah.
So
Dick Tracy.
yeah, Dick Tracy
but
was on there.
That was more of a high gloss that was off the shoulders of Batman. But we're not talking about Dick Tracy. We're not talking about Batman. We're talking about 70s Canadian, eh? So let's go ahead and open this up. I'm really excited about this, eh? And have a Molson and let's relax. Okay.
All right, so Heavy Metal Magazine, as a little bit of a history lesson. Heavy Metal Magazine is an American magazine that was published as a dark fantasy, sci-fi, steampunk with erotica thrown in. That's how it's described. It was a monthly showcase of European artists, and it gave public awareness to amazing artists like Mobius, who went on to do a run on Silver Surfer.
Not to be confused with Morbius.
No. Or not to be confused with Mobius from Loki.
Yes. Lots of Mobs.
Did the artist from Heavy Metal do Aeon Flux by chance?
No, that's Peter Chung.
Okay.
That's a good question. They look similar.
Yeah, like I feel that there's probably some inspirations, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, it's still good. I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah.
The movie was produced by Ivan Reitman.
Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Nice.
And speaking of Ghostbusters, the score was done by Elmer Bernstein, which if you listen to the score, especially during the So Beautiful, So Dangerous, the one where the reporter lady gets abducted, it has there's a good Ghostbusters feel to the music. But
Pause.
that's why. Okay.
When the movie first started, with the dad coming home to the little girl, I swear that was a ripoff of Pure Imagination by Willy Wonka. It had the same thing. It had the same melody. I will play it for you after when we go to a break.
So let's go over the segments.
Okay.
And we can talk as it goes on. Let's start with the first segment, known as Soft Landing. The whole movie revolves around this green orb called the Lochnar. And this first story, written by Dan O'Bannon, as you all know, wrote Alien. As you all know...
We all knew that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Wrote Alien and Return of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Dan O'Bannon? Yeah!
Dan O'Bannon. He actually wrote a lot of things. He wrote a lot of good things. Rest in peace, Dan. It was directed by the film's director, Gerard Potterson. And he thought it would be a good idea to have it was his thought to have a overarching story structure, kind of like Creepshow.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. Like the 1978 Tales from the Crypt movie. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. Very reminiscent of EC Comics and that kind of thing. So the Lochnar is talking about how things are evil, and the father comes home and brings it to this girl, which it just kills the father and tortures this girl by telling her stories, and that's how heavy metal begins.
It's good times.
Yeah.
The dad just died.
Yeah, in front of her.
Yep.
And that's the whole feel of the movie, is this heavy metal movie. And then we get to our first story called Harry Canyon. Harry Canyon.
Harry Canyon.
That when I look at Harry Canyon, it's like the quintessential heavy metal art style, because it's almost like Mobius. It's almost like God, I can't remember Jean, the French guy who did the Fifth Element stuff.
And
that guy. And Mobius also did Valerian, so it all has that French art style to it. Harry Canyon was directed by, God, it's so dark in here, by Pino van Lansweerd. Lamsweed. This is going to be a fun episode. Who has only directed a couple of Care Bears videos and the movie Asterix in Britain.
Care Bear videos. Care Bear stare.
Hey, do you know anything about being lovely and cuddling? Well, I did a pseudo sex scene with a bunch of ink. It was actually live action people that we traced over, so that way we got the movements just right.
I don't think Mobius rotoscoped it. I think that was full-on cell animation.
We can talk more. I don't know if you're going to get into that or not.
I'm not. No, I was going more over the story, and we can have our discussions about these.
Okay.
It's a round table that we're sitting at that's square.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you around then. Yeah. So please continue.
I'm hanging around.
That's. I mean, the story is Harry Canyon is a
yeah. It's good times.
Is a futuristic cab driver. And he takes no guff from anyone.
Oh, like Fifth Element.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The art.
Bada boom. Yeah.
In fact, a lot of the art for Fifth Element was done by Mobius, but the majority of it was by the French artist I can't think of.
Pierre.
Is it Pierre?
The guy you just said, Jean-Luc.
No. That was the director.
Oh.
The director, Pinot.
Pinot Noir.
Yes,
let's call him that. The opening credits of this movie... Did any of that line up with any of these stories, or was it just this random space thing flying in the air?
Oh, like the Elon Musk thing?
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Spaceballs.
Yeah, it was just a cool little sequence.
Okay, just wanted to know.
Yeah.
There's just a lot going on from the moment the movie started.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like you said when we were talking earlier, it's like The Wall. It's just it
Yes.
makes a lot of no sense, but
Yes.
it does make sense as well.
Oh, so like Yellow Submarine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into
It
that
does.
soon.
Huh. Okay, then I apologize.
No, you don't. Do not apologize, sir.
I'm sorry for saying sorry.
Good Lord.
I see why when this first story started, what was it called?
Harry
Canyon. Right there is just wrong. But
I didn't even think of that.
yeah, Harry Canyon.
Yeah,
When you-
I can't say that.
I just thought that was a cool name for like a gruff, streetwise cab driver. I didn't put together the perviness of
Harry Canyon.
It's
gross.
Yeah.
When you chose this movie, I'm like, I've seen this movie like listed, and I've seen the picture of the front of it like all these years, because there's also a Heavy Metal 2000.
Yes.
Okay. So I've seen these movies, but I've never seen them. Right? Like this was my first time seeing this movie. I don't know if you knew that, Roman. You could probably tell it. I've never. It's not one of my on my rotation, my heavy rotation movies. No. And he's like, oh, it's a cartoon, which I didn't even know that. Like again, legit. All I've ever seen was the front cover of it. And I'm like, oh. And he's like, but you can't watch it with Carter. Yeah, nah. I see why I can't watch it with Carter. Thanks, Harry Canyon. I mean, this is just nonstop nudity.
Yeah, and that's heavy metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sci-fi, erotica.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Don't have him watch Fitz the Cat either.
Fritz,
him too.
Okay.
Harry Crumb.
Yeah, our Crumb.
Okay.
Not Harry Crumb.
I mean,
who's Harry Crumb?
These women they immediately just take down their robe and their shirt and they just get right to business.
Yeah, and not a hint of cellulite, just
Oh
everyone's
no.
just perfect.
I mean the boobs
Perfect.
are ginormous.
High hips,
Oh yeah. It's
pretty face, small waist, and a big base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Harry Canyon.
Yes.
But this is the daughter. This is the little girl.
What?
Sorry.
We took that south really quickly.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Okay, goodbye, folks.
What?
The daughter. What about the daughter?
We were talking about dirty stuff and locker room stuff, and then you talk about a daughter. It's like, oh boy, I feel horrible.
The woman in the first story that meets she's the girl. She's the little girl from the beginning. She said, this was given to me by my father, and then he died in front of me.
Oh, I did never put that together.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was watching
says
boobs.
that to him. This
I
is
believe
before
you.
she lays with him. Lays
with him.
This is before she was like.
I always miss that.
Yeah, she goes.
Oh.
She goes. My dad gave this to me, and then he died right in front of me, and people have been trying to get me ever since.
Well, Adam, it would be amazing what you would notice when you have the volume turned up.
So that just makes the ending really sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
100%.
I have contributed to this episode. I didn't think I was going to because of my. Yeah. I will talk later. Oh yeah, I still want lots of poundage.
Yeah, you do.
I will.
We have that on record.
Yes, Harry Canyon.
For the
Harry
record,
Canyon poundage.
for the record, I am.
We're all
fist
pounding.
bumping. Okay.
Yeah, we're all fisting each other right
I
here.
thought that I wasn't going to have a lot of stuff to give to this one because of my thoughts on this movie, but I feel like I just contributed.
You did. You gave me something that I don't remember ever hearing.
Woo. But yeah, so she grew up. She grew up
to be a bitch.
To be a bitch, but a beautiful woman. But she is conniving, just like
Yeah, and she got her just desserts.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that. I like the story because it's fast. It tells a beginning, middle, and end, and it feels like a good sci-fi story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Fifth Element type story.
Yeah.
Not just because it's a cab driver. But mainly because it's a cab driver.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But it had a mob element to it, and I just really like that.
That character, he also reminded me a little bit of what's his name from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. The neighbor.
Yeah, I can't remember his damn name.
Gary? No. Phil.
Wait, we're talking about the room or the New York guy?
Yeah.
The cab driver reminds me of the guy from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
God, I have his damn autograph too.
Phil.
Yeah,
Phil.
but what's with the goat's blood? What's with the elf's blood? Yeah.
I hope somebody out there
With his
listening
foreigner
is-
belt?
I hope last night somebody out there is screaming it.
Yeah. Holy crap. Okay, well,
I'll look it up. You continue.
we'll
Yeah, watch out for those crabs.
Are you the jukebox hero?
yeah, they were totally awesome in 1984. All right, so that was Harry Canyon.
Okay.
There was.
You
All right.
you've witnessed my Harry Canyon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Carl.
Carl.
Do you know his last name?
Carl.
Brutananana Deluski.
Wow.
Tana Nana Deluski.
Carl.
I used to love Aqua Teen
Yeah,
Hunger
it was
Force.
great.
They have a new movie. It's on Max.
Fryman. Hey, Fryman.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
But doesn't he kind of remind you of him?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Because the bald head and the New York accent. I don't know.
I guess. I mean, he just reminds me of every New York cabbie.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. You didn't even know they were the daughters.
Yay! Hey, whoa.
Hey, yo. Okay, so let's move on to my favorite story. Den. This one was directed by someone. Who was it directed by? Directed by Jack Stokes. None of these people we'll never hear of again. Jack Stokes.
Does he have a yurt?
He was an art director for.
Stoked to do this.
Yeah.
He was an art director for the Yellow Submarine and the Beatles TV series, the cartoon. All right, everybody, 1, 2, 3.
No. No, we already did it, and it's over.
Okay. Well, Roman did it, so he's on my cool list now.
I drink tap water, so I'm easily.
So Den is my favorite story, mainly because of John Candy's performance. It was just absolutely fantastic. He plays this nerdy kid who's experimenting with lightning and the Lochnar.
Mm-hmm. The Lochnar monster.
The Lochnar, and he electrocutes it using the power of lightning, and it transports him into another world and body.
And that body looked like a mix between so many things.
Vin Diesel.
Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, but also like any other like you know who kind of reminded me of is the guy from, and I never even finished this whole movie because it's not one of my favorites. The Watchmen, the guy that's bald, the big
Dr.
blue,
Manhattan.
Yeah, the big blue man. Well, he wasn't blue, but it's just his whole like.
So just giant, bald, hairless men.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, did he also look like the guy on that cleaning product called Mr. Clean?
Yes, all of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. How about Telly Savalas? Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
going
Who
too
loves
far.
you, baby?
No, that's going too far.
Jean-Luc Picard?
No,
Huh?
no.
He wasn't fully bald.
Okay.
No.
My favorite line when he lands, he's looking all over his body. He looks down at his junk and goes, big. I just love this so much because he is still that nerdy teenager living his barbarian dream.
Yeah.
And he can fight, he can fuck, he can kill, he
Captain
can talk.
K-Pod!
And it's even though it's heavy metal, even though it's dark fantasy erotica, it's still kind of a wholesome story.
He was when the one woman like said, "I need to lay with you, and you need to like satisfy my needs or my powers." And yeah. And he was basically so cute. He was like, "Man, not even 24 hours on this planet, and I've already gotten it done twice or something like that." It was so
I've gotten
funny.
more action in 24 hours
than I have in my whole life. Yeah.
He's so innocent, and I don't blame him for not going home.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree. To me, this story is pretty much like this was the reader personified. Every geeky kid who wants to live out his fantasies right there. He gets to make it with two hot chicks that are basically throwing himself on it. Like, seriously, this is like fan fiction porn pretty much from every dude who can write a little bit decent. And there you go.
They're right into their audience.
Yeah. I mean, this came
100%.
straight from Heavy Metal Magazine.
Yeah.
So that was Den.
Wow.
Any other thoughts on Den?
Den is done.
Den is done. Den is done.
Mm-hmm.
Done Den. All right, now we're moving on to my least favorite story.
The goobers. No, the bomber.
Captain Stern.
Captain Stern of Jupiter.
These names are just too much for me.
It was the Zap Brannigan story.
Uh-huh.
Captain Stern, played by Eugene Levy.
Mm-hmm.
It was directed by Paul Sabella.
You know, I like pastries as much as the next guy, but I don't have sex with it.
Okay. It was directed by Paul Sabella, who directed All Dogs Go to Heaven 2.
Oh, my God.
And a whole bunch of Bob the Builder videos.
What the hell?
Yeah.
You go from something erotic, borderline X-rated, to something so wholesome.
Yeah,
you know?
He's a pedophile.
He also did the All Dogs Christmas special.
Oh, my heavens. Oh, All Dogs Go to Heaven always makes me cry.
Yeah, the first one was great, but that wasn't him.
Oh.
He did part 2.
Oh, no one ever pays attention to the sequels.
No, the direct-to-videos.
Yeah.
All these people have just done direct-to-video shit.
Yeah,
and
because
heavy metal.
No one trusts them. It's like, no, we're good. Hey, can you draw? Can you direct a bunch of Care Bears and Care Bear stairs? Okay, you're good. All right, let's go. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was always into like
boobs.
When I was a young kid, I was always into like making movies, like directors and stuff. But what I could not comprehend as a child was, how do you direct an animated movie? How do you direct Donald Duck? Mm-hmm. How do you direct these things that aren't real? And it took me a long...
Cut.
And then when I saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I'm like, oh, okay, because I was 8 years old, and it made sense to me. But it was I would just think that every time we talk about
I got a 30-year-old
directors.
voice and a 6-month-old dingy.
I'll be in my trailer. So this was my least favorite story because it was so off the wall goofy, and it just, I understand why it was there because it had the humor. It had the Ivan Reitman humor, but it just didn't hit with me. Captain Stern was on trial for being probably the worst captain ever, with so many counts of negligence and murder and murder. And that kind of stuff. And he had his little toady friend lie for him, and then he became the Hulk for some reason. And then Captain Stern killed him. I have no really anything to say about this story.
I checked out during this story.
Yeah. It's just not. It wasn't good. How about you, Roman?
I do think that they took Zach Brannigan's character, like they got this from that. This was heavily influenced on him and Kip.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
especially even the way he dressed. Mm-hmm. He even had like the short skirt.
So my son can watch this movie then.
I tell you what, Leela.
Carter's favorite show is Futurama. He's already finished it once. He's going back through it again. He actually understands a lot of it. Some of it, like Snoo and stuff like that, he doesn't get, but he gets some of it. And so yeah, I guess he could watch this particular one.
Fry is my spirit animal.
Carter loves Fry and he loves Zoidberg.
Yeah, that's
he thinks he's so
Zoidberg.
Obviously, he doesn't get the majority of it.
Naturally.
Well, you know, the one time that I met that I met Billy West, me and him had a Zoidberg off.
Oh, did you?
And of course,
Zoidberg
he
is
won.
Gross to me.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah, that's his point.
Yeah,
He's a doctor, but he's like a homeless guy.
Yeah,
and he has claspers. Yeah,
I'm going for a scuttle.
Yeah, of course, naturally, real quick on Futurama, I just want to say that I feel a kinship towards it because Bender Rodriguez.
Yes, yeah.
Bending Rodriguez.
Can I clamp him? Can I clamp him?
Give him the clamps. Welcome to Futurama, the podcast.
Exactly. Oh, boy.
Futuremadness. Cinerama.
Well, maybe heavy metal and Futurama are in the same universe.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there you go.
I know they did a heavy metal episode of South Park, which was hilarious.
Yes. The girls actually look very similar to the Snoo people.
They do.
Like their hips and their boobs, and it's heavily influenced by this movie, I think.
Yeah.
But then again, the girls also kind of look like pretty much almost every alien on Star Trek 1966.
Aside from the big boobs.
Well, yeah.
They had those 60s, bikini boobs. Not droopy, but pulled down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to Booberama.
Welcome to Boob Talk. Okay, next
Welcome
story.
to Twin Peaks.
Oh, that was bad.
What? I didn't bring up Harry Canyon once.
All right, so let's move on to my second favorite story.
Oh, the Goobers?
B-17.
Oh, okay, the bombers.
Yes, the B-17 bombers. This was cool as shit, and not because it was also written by Dan O'Bannon.
Zombies!
Who, we all know wrote Alien.
Well, yeah.
And Return of the Living Dead. So this was a really cool story because it didn't need dialogue. It had a little bit of dialogue, but it didn't need dialogue. It was all visual storytelling. It was a bombing run that the one B-17 got really badly injured. Do planes get injured? Damaged. That's the word.
Did you not see the Disney Pixar movie planes?
Any plane that has a face on it, it gets injured.
Yeah, absolutely.
They get sick. They stick a thermometer in their mouth.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't watch Dane Cook movies.
No. Did you watch the Gerard Butler movie? It was on my honorable mentions list for top.
No, nobody did.
No one did.
What? Really? Oh. Anyways, please, wounded plane.
Yeah, the wounded plane. It also gets rear-ended by the Lochnar.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it gets really, really dirty
Wait.
very quickly.
You didn't talk about the Lochnar in the last movie, the last one. What did he do in that one?
He fluttered. He became a
forget.
marble. He became a marble, and it was in his pocket, and the Hulk guy.
Yeah, that's
with
how
his
he
big
hulked out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
His
that's
big
right.
fist. He was
That's right.
fisting everybody.
That's right.
That's
okay.
right. It was Kit Fisto
Yeah.
Yes.
from Star Wars.
Give him again, Kip.
I call him Fister Roboto.
Oh boy.
I love Krieger.
Oh boy, that's a pounding right there with fist.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Guy handed to him.
the Lochnar, after everyone's been shot to shit and everyone's dead, the co-pilot goes to check on the damage. The Lochnar hits the back of the plane and reanimates the entire crew as zombies. And
Except for one man.
except for one man who is able to fight them off and parachute to an island. And this island is nothing but
Naked
a
women.
graveyard full of airplanes and reanimated corpses. And it's just such a cool story. It reminds me of like an Iron Maiden cover. I think Iron Maiden should have played in that one, but it's just a cool story. I mean, what do you guys think? I like the animation. I like the green goo.
Basically, it's what 1942 could have been if they would have had zombies.
1942.
Yeah, the movie with Jim Belushi.
You mean 1941?
That too.
The Steven Spielberg movie.
Oh, you didn't see
with
the sequel?
John Belushi.
Yeah, you didn't see the sequel? It's 1942. Yeah.
1942 is a Capcom game.
Oh, is it? Oh, man.
Fly a little
I don't
plane.
know what you're talking about,
Steven
but
Spielberg needs
okay.
to sue somebody.
It sounds like 1912, and then I'm out.
17.
1712, and I'm out. Anything with numbers
Oh, yeah?
in the movie, I'm probably going to be out.
The Sixth Sense.
Well, no.
Fifth Element?
No.
Seven.
I mean like
Look
a
Who
date.
Talking's too.
A date.
Okay. Born on the 4th of July, not your thing?
I don't like that. No.
Blade Runner 2049.
It was okay.
Okay.
It was better than the original Blade Runner. Yes. What? What does that look for? You don't think it was better than the original Blade Runner?
I mean, I like the
but
Tiny Toons adaptation.
Of course, this one's going to be better for me. It was prettier.
Yeah, you kind of need to get out of that.
Get out of what? Pretty?
The whole newer is better.
I didn't love either of them. They were both good movies, but anyways, I was talking about movies with dates in them.
Okay.
They usually revolve around war.
You just don't like war movies.
So people that go on dates during war, like.
Oh my
So
God.
did you not like B-17?
What's B-17?
That's what we're talking
Oh
about.
yeah. We're back to this now, where we were supposed to be. No, it was better than the last one.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Brains. I'm giving sound effects, people.
It's funny you say that.
Yeah, because
Return of the Living Dead,
Yeah.
written by Dan O'Bannon, was the first time zombies ever ate brains. It was just a throwaway. It was a throwaway because they're like, what would be their motivation to attack? And they're like,
so
brains.
Would you say that what they're looking for was in your head? In your head. Zombie.
Like a zombie?
You know when he's about to do a bad joke because he's like, so
So
what
what
you're
you say-
saying
Yep.
is...
We've been doing this way too long.
Yeah, the Roman bingo card is now like a 20 by 20 grid.
Welcome to the
It's now
anthology of
like,
Roman.
it should just be like a word search.
Yeah, it's a book. Romanisms.
Oh boy, yikes!
Okay, so
Thank you, hon, for marrying me.
I guess we're done with B-17 bomber.
17, yes, we're done.
That one flew away, or did that one land?
So
we landed that one.
Yeah. So nobody got my my retro video game joke there.
Would I get a retro video game joke?
I don't know. There was a game for the Intellivision, and the Intellivision had a talking thing to it. So when you put it in the game B-17 Bomber, it would go B-17 Bomber.
Okay.
So yeah, no, that retro game joke bites.
I get it. Like bites.
Like BYT.
Like a
yes.
bite, like a bit and a bite.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Yes. No.
How many more stories do we have?
We have two more.
Okay.
This is a good.
There's a lot of stories.
Yeah. This is a good one. This next one. It's the craziest of all of them.
The goobers.
Yes. It's so beautiful, so dangerous. About an alien spaceship that lands in Washington D.C. and
Mars Attacks.
Yes, and a reporter decides to go back with them.
Mars Attacks.
Yes, sure.
Who was this directed by?
Oh, yes, let's do that.
What fun animation did they grow up to do?
I'm going with Dora the Explorer.
I'm going with Daniel Tiger.
You know what? I see your Daniel Tiger. Show me
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep you in suspense because I forgot to do the one for B-17.
Oh.
It was B-17. And it was written by Dan O'Bannon.
Right.
It was directed by Barry Nelson, who was who never directed anything, but he was an art director for The Plague Dogs, which is a terrible movie to show your children.
That sounds sick.
And Garfield and Friends.
Hey! Pound me!
Pound me!
And
Pound me!
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hey, hello!
Yes.
So, all
Here's
right,
a drive-by fruiting.
going back to So Beautiful, So Dangerous.
Yes.
Okay,
It was directed by... oh, God, I can't read my own writing. And it's typed.
Hope to God I can't read my writing. I love
It was directed by John Hollis,
Oh.
who did nothing but a bunch of educational shorts.
For schools and
Yes,
children.
I'm just a bill.
And he did the animated adaptation of George Orwell's Animal Farm.
Hey!
I think we've all seen that in school.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like that one a lot.
I do too.
The book's better, though.
Man, if this last director and this last one doesn't do any cartoons, he's out.
Veggie Tales. I'm calling it.
Yeah, I'm going to be upset.
Oh, this last director has done a cartoon.
Okay, good.
Oh, boy.
I believe in the opening
Space
credits,
Jam.
I saw that the music supervisor or something was Michael Gross, and I immediately went to Michael Gross from Family Ties.
No, Michael Gross is a music producer as
But
well.
it's the same name, right?
Yes,
same person?
it is, yes.
Okay. Not same person, same name.
Same name, yeah.
No,
No,
sir.
no,
That
no.
is growing pains. You shut your mouth.
That was Alan Thicke.
You can count on me. No matter where you go, you can.
That's My Two Dads.
Oh.
Keep going.
No, that's not My Two Dads either.
Yes,
I don't know
it is.
what-
Whatever happened to little...
No,
Steve?
that's Full
Little man-
House.
Oh, come on.
What
Jeez,
is
I'm
Family
trying
Ties?
Family Ties is God, I watched the whole thing
And
last
they
year.
draw. They
Yeah.
draw it.
It was...
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
I know I don't like it because it has a double negative in it and it bothers the
I
crap
don't.
out
It's
of
not
me.
a fun one. Clearly, we don't know
Doesn't
it.
it have Michael McDonald or a guy who sounds like that one?
It's close to sounding like
Only
that.
piece of where we belong.
It's
No,
not.
that's-
It's not an officer and a gentleman.
We're gonna look that up, and I'm looking at My Two Dads at break because I thought it was a different story. So move forward. I mean, a different song.
No, it's,
Balky!
you can count on.
Oh, I know that one.
Oh, I know that one.
Anyways, please continue.
Okay.
So we're still on So Beautiful, So Dangerous.
Yes.
She goes into space. She falls in. Well, a robot falls in love with her, played by John Candy, and that's also a cute story, even though it's all nude. It's still a cute story because the robot is just head over heels, and she's like, "Well,
You're forgetting she's Jewish.
yeah,
She's Jewish.
can we
she's
have
a
a
good
Jew?
Jew.
Can we have a Jewish wedding?"
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Whose
need
voice
me
was
sick-
that?
It was
Fram Drescher.
someone that doesn't have a credit.
Oh,
Like-
I feel like I recognize
Like
her voice.
she's listed on IMDb, but she doesn't have a clickable. which means
So it's not a famous person.
No.
She sounded so much
Yeah.
like a famous person. Not necessarily Fran Drescher, but somebody that I don't know.
It was probably like a backup. They probably had somebody. And it's like, oh shit. Hey, your assistant, your legal assistant.
Her name's Rhoda.
Yeah. Hey,
It's not Rhoda.
Can we just get her as a filler just so we can have it?
I
and then
liked
we'll
her
replace
voice.
her?
She was super cute.
And she was very Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought that story was adorable. But I really liked the pilots, Harold Ramis and Eugene Levy, and their space cocaine.
Yeah. Oh yes.
And it was visually cool too when they were flying the ship and almost crashing into the space station. I just thought this is it almost looked like the old 80s anime, like with all the technology like shoved in together. It looked like, you know, something from Akira or something from
Bebop or
Cowboy Bebop, or even older, like Lensman or that kind of thing. Robot Carnival.
You know what? This one reminded me of Love, Sex, or Death.
Love, Death, and Robots.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this is. It's kind of, that's kind of what that is. It's kind of like not a more family friendly, but a less adult oriented.
If you haven't watched that, go ahead. You're welcome.
Go ahead and you're welcome. That's J.J. Abrams, right?
I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
That would make sense because there's no plot, nothing that makes sense, and
Is there a blue lens all over?
I shouldn't have said those words.
Yeah, sorry.
What,
All right.
J.J. Abrams?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I really like him. And,
I do
and
too.
Everyone
He's
that
one
gives
of
him
my-
shit just drives me
Excuse
crazy.
me. He's one of my favorite directors.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
know.
giving him shit. I just thought it was funny.
I really like Cloverfield.
I just thought it was funny.
He didn't direct Cloverfield.
Oh, well, that's probably
he just
why I liked
developed it.
No, I'm kidding. No, he's a very brilliant guy, and if you ever need anything, JJ, please call me. I'm just kidding.
And people that showed up to my trivia last time found out that he was a composer.
Yeah.
Oh,
He hasn't done anything recently.
doesn't that offend
He's in
you?
hiding
Good for him.
from the Star Wars quote-unquote fans.
Good for him.
Okay.
So we're moving on to the final story.
Okay. Let's see how we blow this one up.
Tarna.
And
This is the heavy metal story. This is the one that's on the cover. This is the one everyone thinks of when they think of heavy metal. This is the one South Park did.
Yes.
For the cheesing episode. This is the epitome of dark fantasy, where the Lochnar is gigantic, crashes into a volcano, and creates this barbarian race of things, of people, I guess. And they want to attack the scholars. They want to attack this town of nothing but peaceful people. And they call in Tarna to take care of them all. And she does.
Mm-hmm.
So, good night, everyone.
All right.
That's all you want to say? Well, who's the director?
Oh, the director, is Gerald Potterson.
Oh, he already did the other one.
He did the whole movie.
Jerry.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought Ivan Reitman did the whole movie.
Ivan Reitman produced it.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is directed by the movie's director.
Oh, well, that's not as fun.
I know,
No.
but
What
I said
other-
he did a thing. I don't know what else he's done.
Aw,
I didn't look that up.
he did Daniel
Jerry.
Tiger. Or My Little Pony, one of the two.
I'm going Rainbow Bright.
Oh, the guy who did
fine.
the guy who did the Care Bears stuff also did some My Little Pony stuff.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
I
There
saw
you
that
go.
when I was looking it up. So at the end, Tarna looks like she's going to lose as she is wounded by the bad guy. And all the time she has the Lochnar telling her, "Don't destroy me, I'm going to kill you, blah, 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 blah." And she doesn't listen to it. She destroys it. She loses her mount. And then it goes back to the little girl.
Now, what is the creature that she was flying on?
It was a mount. I don't know what it was called.
Butterfly in the sky.
Because it wasn't a dragon.
Yeah, it was kind of like a dragon bird.
It looks like a dragon sea monster thing.
That's a worm.
Oh.
Dragon, sea monster, worm.
It looked like a Loch Ness, like a Nessie.
Yeah,
that
it's
flew.
in dragon terms, that would be a worm, a verm.
It didn't look as badass as I felt it should be.
Right.
Considering the story.
Right.
Like it was like this cutesy thing that would be in like
The Neverending Story.
Yes. Yeah, things like that. Oh,
Speaking of Neverending Story, that's kind of how this movie ends.
I agree.
Yeah. So the Lochnar can't take any more of it being destroyed, so it decides to self-destruct, cracks, breaks open, tries to kill the girl, explodes the house, and she is saved by Falcor of the heavy metal thing. It's Tarna's mount as she flies away, and then we know her grisly death later on in the beginning of the movie because it comes full circle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that I know that.
Yes.
You know, when the house blew up, my mind instantly went to the Simpsons episode, The Treehouse of Horrors, where the house had the option of live with the Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, live with the Simpsons.
Or kill myself.
And he blows up.
like,
That's kind of, that's where
like right when they leave the house, right?
Yeah.
He just decides to implode. Yeah.
we can live together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do this.
That sounds like Kermit.
Well, actually, more Gonzo.
Yes, that's what I meant. Gonzo.
Okay.
So there were other really good artists on this movie. If you're into comic books, Neil Adams, who just recently passed away, Bernie Wrightson, who did tons of horror comics. He did the B-17 thing. It was just really cool. And also Mobius, also known as Jean Giraud.
I mean, I would go by Mobius.
Yeah, that's a cool freaking name.
So
no last name or nothing.
Just Mobius.
I have
like
two ideas for this script. Take the red pill and you'll see where it goes.
Not Morpheus.
Is he still alive?
No,
Take the
he
blue
died.
pill and you'll see how
I wonder
far
if
this
his
drawing
headstone
goes.
says Morbius.
He passed away.
Mobius. Holy crap!
He passed
Stop
away
it.
right after Fifth Element.
We're
came
all
out.
made of stars.
That's Moby.
What the hell?
I mean, it's Moby-ish.
Okay.
Get it?
Yeah,
My
but
son Moby, my son Morpheus, my son Mobius, my other son Morbius.
well, we'll talk about
And this
Morpheus.
is, and I'm Judy.
And I'm Judy. So,
anyways,
taglines.
Oh, I can't wait.
tagline.
There are a bunch of these.
Oh man.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first one: sex, crime, and rock and roll.
And murder.
That's the one that's on the poster.
Yeah.
Sex, crime, and rock and roll. Louder and nastier than ever.
Wait, pause. Sex, crime, and rock and roll. Isn't that actually Empire Records tagline too? You're welcome.
Damn it,
Louder
man.
and what did you say?
Nastier than ever.
I feel like that should be the second one that came out because you're comparing it. You're trying to say that it's even more
Then the magazine.
Oh, got it.
So bigger, longer, and uncut.
Yes.
Got it.
A step beyond science fiction.
No, I don't like that.
I know, that seems like it should be like a science fiction.
Yeah, no,
completely science fiction.
And the step beyond
Boo to
science
that.
fiction.
Now we're getting into the longer ones.
Oh.
Oh,
A universe of mystery. A universe of magic. A universe of awesome good and terrifying evil.
Okay.
Heavy metal.
That's too long.
Hey, babe, did you want to watch this movie? I'm looking at the poster here in the hallway fictitiously, and yeah, it's a universe of good, a universe of evil. You lost me. Let's go ahead and just watch Annie Hall. All right, just checking. Love you.
And the last one, Columbia Pictures, takes you beyond the future into a universe you've never seen before. A universe of mystery, a universe of magic, a universe of sexual fantasies, a universe of awesome good, a universe of terrifying evil.
Hey, babe, I'm here in the hallway, and Columbia Pictures has this movie that's very enticing. Honey, let's just watch Annie Hall.
Does it have a universe we've never seen?
No. Honey, the answer is no.
Is it a universe of sexual fantasy?
Universe sexual fantasy. Does that have Uranus in it?
It doesn't have my anus in it.
No.
That's something that just would be talked to over the trailer.
Yeah, that sounds like the trailer voice guy.
Yeah.
In a world.
Pictures.
Yeah, it's not.
Columbia
that's
Pictures
too much.
takes you beyond the future
This movie came out in the theater,
Yes.
and it was
Yes.
rated R or NC-17.
It was rated R.
Okay,
It was only boobs.
just asking. There
And-
was
and some
there was
gore.
there was female genitalia.
There was bush. There wasn't like flaps.
There was
or
hairy canyons everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the entry, but you didn't actually see.
No, I
the
get it.
canyon.
Yeah,
I
you
get
didn't
it.
see any of the flippy flaps.
You saw the road leading to the
I
canyon.
understand. And this
Yeah.
came out when?
1981.
Yeah, see? I mean, you'd think that would be a little harder than an R.
Well, back in 1981,
Oh,
there was R.
That's right.
It was
that's
R
right.
and then X.
That's right. You're right.
I mean, remember in 1980 you had 78. It was Pretty Baby.
Yes.
Yeah, which would never be made.
Right, you're
today,
right.
Ever.
I mean, Porky's was R.
Yeah, that's
Oh my
that's
gosh.
True. You're right.
Ouch! Ouch! Oh, Porky's. Ouch.
So that was heavy metal. We got through that fast.
Did we?
Did
It
we?
was a short movie. You did.
Oh, okay,
Wow.
good. That's great. I will say that, like I said, I'd never seen this movie before. I won't watch it again. I didn't absolutely hate it. It's just not it's not for me. I think most people know I'm not a huge fan of adult animation. I'll watch kids animation. I can deal with Futurama every now and then. I'm not a huge Family Guy. I got out of South Park. I got out of Simpsons. Sometimes it just seems to be too much for me. Too much. This was very reminiscent of Pink Floyd's The Wall, which I cannot stand. However,
Which was 1982.
oh, okay, yeah, it was a lot. The music it fit with the movie. I'm not too much into heavy metal, but I liked the Journey, and I think it had a Styx song that I recognize. I recognize the songs. It's not my thing. I respected the different forms of anime though. So
Okay. Roman, what did you think about the soundtrack?
The soundtrack was on the time. It was on the button. Everything blends well. Yeah, it's a great complimentary piece.
Yep. Heavy metal and Devo.
Indeed.
who
It
aren't
was-
heavy metal?
Right. That's why I
Well,
said
neither
heavy
is
metal
Journey.
and Devo.
Yeah, and Journey is not heavy
Yeah.
metal, and
Not
neither is
even
Styx.
Or Cheap Trick.
Oh, it wasn't Styx. It was Cheap Trick.
I want you.
I get them mixed
to
up.
want me. Dum, 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 dum.
Both were not very good live. Okay.
Yes.
Well, you saw them when they're in their 60s.
Yeah, but be nice because Robin Zander lives here, so he listens to our podcast. I bet.
You listened to them; they were awesome, and they're in their 60s, and that's great. Yeah,
Yeah,
I hear a lot of great things.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
I think they were just tired.
Yeah,
And I saw Styx like 30 years ago, and they were still not very good. After Kansas opened up
Wait,
for them.
the Sticks listen to our podcast?
No.
No.
Okay, so just Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
It was the
For the record, true story. I Want You to Want Me was a song that my kid played over and over again. He wanted that when he was 2 and 3. He's like, I want you to want me. So when they open up with I want you, and he goes, to want me.
That's so
Oh, yeah.
cute.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
did you make your kid sound like an alien? To want me.
That sounded like a Spanish alien.
Well, look who we're talking about.
I feel somewhat culturally offended. Yeah.
I want you to want me.
Jesus en Tijuana. Jesus en Tijuana.
Ay, ay, ay.
Mira, necesito cigaretas, cerveza. Jesus.
You're Hispanic, so you can do that.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Yes, I gave you permission.
Wow.
No.
Boy. Okay. Well, it's good to know that years and years and years of genes and everything means nothing until you're given permission by a white man.
That's right.
All right. High five. Half of me's offended by that. Half of me agrees with
No,
it.
high five. Fist pound.
Yes, we're
we
fisting tonight.
We are
Remember?
pounding.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
We're fisting. Allison's getting pounded. It's just a good night.
Oh, Harry Canyon.
It's just anarchy.
Ah.
See what heavy metal does to everyone? It just makes everything erotic.
You know, we're going to take a pebble and make your hand really big, like Captain or like Miss Marvel. Yeah.
Universe of mystery.
Universe of mystery.
Universe of fantasy.
Hey, Walter, I want to see this movie with Universe of Mystery and Fantasy.
Walter.
We're going to see Rocky again.
Oh, is that where the black guy gets hit really hard in the face?
Yeah, that's why you liked it so much.
Oh. I'll see without you. Give me some double A's. Love ya.
I want a divorce. So that was heavy metal. Not my favorite movie. I think it's cool. I really like the animation. I really like den. So I was
Why
like,
did you choose that one out of the list? Because you hadn't seen it in a while?
that? And it's something that not like out of left field, but didn't want to choose like stereotypical comic book movies. Like I could have chosen
The one I chose.
Well,
Go ahead, say it.
No, I could have chosen like the first Ghost Rider or the first Fantastic Four and all that stuff, or Steel. But I wanted to choose something that was entertaining and not like Howard the Duck.
Right. Thank you for that.
So I wanted something different to talk about, and it had
Duck. You don't like Play Duck?
And it had a lot of different stories. So it had a lot I thought we could talk about.
Yep.
So
Thank you for having me watch it. Now
Thank
I
you
can
for
see I've
watching
watched it. Can I ask if the second one is remotely like this one?
I never watched it because it looked terrible.
Okay. And did it come out in the 2000s, or did they just call it that?
It came out in 2000. Yeah. It was originally supposed to be called Heavy Metal Faak 2, Faak, but I don't know what that means. Probably has something to do with one of the stories in the comic.
It means part in Finnish.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was my 18th guess. I would have eventually figured that out.
Yeah.
So
we learned something new about the story, and we learned something fictional.
So if you ever are with a Finnish girl, she wants to part. She's saying, "Part me."
Fuck me.
Falk.
Oh,
yeah, part.
like Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peter Falk.
Part me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what it was. It was Heavy Metal Peter Falk 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. It was the sequel to Princess Bride as well.
Mm-hmm.
As you wish.
He was just reading like horny comics to his grandson.
So anyways, so there's this...
Stop it! Do not tarnish Princess Bride.
So
there's this guy named Dan, and he looks back and goes, "Big." Anyways, that's the last I got.
All right.
Walter!
So, oh my God.
Anyways.
Walter has left.
Turn off his mic.
Cut his mic. Walter has left the building, so I think we should do the same. So thank you for watching this movie, even though you may not have liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for having this discussion,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see you for part 2 of celebrating pre-MCU comic book adaptation.
Falk 2.
Yes.
All right.
For Falk 2 for the Finnish audience. Not the starting audience, but the Finnish audience. And Roman will dance his way out of this episode, so we'll see you next time.
See you later.
And remember to continue to celebrate cinema.
Au revoir.
I'm your fire, your desire.